Thank you. As Shirlita comes up, after Jeff Forrest will be Shirley
Shirley Pruitt. Thank you. To piggyback off on what Amir said, my concern would then be the dollar amount per child attendance to the school system. How do we govern the equal distribution of the attendance dollars per children? And I say that because when my children, which are now grown, but when they attended Ferguson Florissant, which is a shared school district, different governments, but shared school districts, the children at that time were $1,062 per attendance day. But when it came to distributing those funds, the Florissant side of the school district got the majority of the monies. My children shared books, so they never brought homework home. Florissant had 2 and 3 computer labs within one elementary school, things of that nature. So how do we govern that attendance fee per kid to be equally distributed throughout the school district?
Thank you. Next is Jeff Forrest, and then after Jeff will be Mona Johnson. Mona?
Good evening, Commission. How are you tonight? My name is Jeff Forrest. I'm the Interim Dean of Business Human Development, Florissant Valley Campus, St. Louis Community College. Our president is also here, Ruby Curry. She is the president of the campus, and we're here because we believe in the work of the Commission, and we believe it's important to stand with you as an educational institution and to be a partner and to be a source of hope, healing, and reconciliation for our community. One of the things we'd also want to encourage you to think about is St. Louis Community College as you draft plans and procedures and processes in terms of helping our students succeed. We believe in the underdog. We are an all-access college. That means if you come in with GED, if you come in with no ED, we welcome you, we teach you, and we partner with local high schools such as Hazelwood School District to ensure your success. As a student who once attended Wellston in their childhood and a graduate of Normandy, the Vikings, also as a graduate of the University of Missouri St. Louis, this community is in my blood. Not only is Florissant Valley Community College located in the heart of Ferguson, Ferguson is at the heart of what we stand for. So we just want to encourage you that as you look at what we should do in the educational area, and if you're looking for a partner to continue to work with you in the success of our students here in this community and throughout the city of St. Louis Community College is here for you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. As Mona comes up, after Mona will be Kevin Potter. I know I saw Kevin earlier. There you are.
Yes, I am a first graduate of my family of high school. I went on to graduate from SLU, then got 2 master's degrees, became a teacher, been an educator for 14 years. I stayed in the hood because I was like, I lived here my whole life, why would I leave? That was in 2003, the things that I encountered as an educator, the police not knowing who I am and treating me like they treat, people. I then became an advocate for education, against education, corruption, and the industrial prison complex. And when I say the industrial prison complex, I mean from the police to the courts to the prisons. And at one point, I was ran out of my house in St. Louis City. The book is coming soon. But I ended up in Canfield Apartments, and I was volunteering at the NAACP working on the prison committee. And that's when I realized, education is so important. I mean, these kids couldn't write, and a lot of times the judges try to help them and say, oh, well, file this form, because they don't have money for lawyers. The lawyers are railroad them. It's just so much involved, and you do not know unless you go through it. So that's why these kids who going through it, they need to know how to read and write like nobody's business. We don't have time, like the lady said, for the politics. We don't have time to wait for people to get schools together that's been failing for 20 or 30 years. These kids need education right now. And right now, there's a bill, the SB 129, that they tried to pass 3 years ago. We've been fighting them in courts. And these kids have an opportunity at Normandy and Riverview to get transferred to schools where they're, first of all, safe, because the Maslow hierarchy of needs say that you must be safe first. The solution is not to open a new school that have all kids whose parents are poor. That's the problem. I don't care how much money you give a school. If the kids are poor in the school, they will be preyed upon. That's a fact.
Time.
That's our problem right there.
Thank
We
you.
need education right now, all deliberate speed. Thurgood Marshall fought for one black person on the jury, and he fought for deliberate speed and education and integration, and that's what we need.
And after Kevin, we'll take one more on the topic of education and child well-being, and that is Tina Kramer. Tina? She spoke? Okay. Oh, you all switched over here. Okay. Patrick Fox, then. Okay.
Good evening, commissioners. My name is Kevin Potter, and I am the president of New Pot Solutions Charitable Foundation. I'm also a former Missouri Tiger football player and Chicago Bear. And, you know, I am also a State Farm agent in St. Charles, so I am heavily rooted into Westview. And I was excited to pull out my shirt and show my T-shirt. See, I earned this T-shirt as being a mentor in some of the programs that we support. But I earned a lot more respect as a result of supporting Westview. This is Westview Champions football program. And my foundation supports the development of student athletes. So our mission is to support, develop, mentor the personal, the academic, and athletic career potential of student athletes. And we do that extremely well. We've done a great job with Westview. We got a few other coaches that are here. And we're doing so well that the Suburban North Middle School program has asked me to serve as a commissioner. So I'm acting, providing infrastructure development, mitigation, risk mitigation issues, and we've got a lot of good programs going on. But it's kind of like I've adopted a lot of babies now. So we've got 5 football teams, Dr. Tobias, from Hazelwood that are part of the program. Then we got U City, Jenny's, I think Normandy, and of course Westview. And I've also found a sponsor to take care of the helmets, because with the helmets you got a lot of issues, concussion issues and things like that. Half the teams wouldn't be able to, probably more than half the teams wouldn't be able to play because of compliance issues with concussions. So I found out a sponsor to support that. What I want to do is I want to be able to come and present before you on the ideals that we have to support and possibly be of service to the commission, okay? And I think I've got a few numbers on that. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Patrick?
Thank you. My name is Patrick Fox. This is my second commission meeting. I was here for the one that dealt with the police and dealing with that issue. That evening, we had a lot of vigorous, active, boisterous protesters. I kind of miss them. I don't miss all necessarily the loudness and the confrontation, but I miss them not being here. This commission is a result of those protesters. And yes, if we fix the police issue and the municipal court issue, we will improve lives. But if we get these 2 issues fixed, education and preserving and developing healthy, intact families, these are the game changers that make generations do better. And if somehow or another this commission can energize hundreds of people on the street demanding better schools, better teachers, more funding, making grades not babies, waiting to form your families to when you're ready. These are the things that pull people out of poverty, keep people out of the street, get them employed, and make a better society. Solve the police problem, certainly. Solve the municipal court problem. But the poor will still be with us if they're not educated and if they don't come from healthy families. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now we're going to switch to a few general comments before we divide into breakout sessions and move into the gymnasium so all of you get a chance to speak in small groups. Okay? So, Clifton Kinney. And then after Clifton, get ready, Bob Miller. Bob Miller here? Raise your hand. Or if not, I'll pick the next person. Oh, okay. And then after Bob, Alexis Templeton. I saw her, she was one of the people who spoke earlier. I don't know if she's still here. Go ahead, Clifton.
How long do I have? 2 minutes. Hello, Clifton Kinney, community and student activist. Although we protest for greater transparency in the criminal justice system, the issue of fairness in the education system is a #1 priority for me. I attended Hazelwood Public Schools my entire life before attending Lutheran High School North, and I know by firsthand experience that our schooling systems offer two different worlds with two different environments. At times, our schools have allowed me to believe in the education system, and at times, the majority of times, our schools stimulate my alarming distrust with the education system. I strongly believe that our current education system has become a ladder to systematic poverty. I believe schools should emphasize on the individual rather than standardized testing. Innovative education reform is the #1 issue I'm out there protesting for, and I believe Teach for America is a leading agent in that. Teach for America saved my life. If it weren't for teachers in the program who taught me to believe in myself and seek social justice for my community, I wouldn't be where I am today. We don't need any more clock in, clock out teachers. We need more programs like Teach for America. And I hope the Missouri legislature gets its act together and passes significant education bills because the youth is ready, the youth is energized, and the youth is prepared to vote out anyone who obstructs educational justice. I guess to have equal education opportunities means to the beginning of prosperity for all, and I guess that's why politics rejects it. I challenge our leaders to create policies that end the vicious school-to-prison pipeline. I challenge them to stop cutting funds for early and secondary childhood education, create policies that build social equity and equality, touch lives, inspire our young, teach our young men and women to be free and make a difference. The movement lives. Clifton Kinney.
Thank you. Bob Miller. And then after Bob, Alexis, if Alexis is still here. If not, let me pull one more.
You already have my name. So
yes, hold on one sec.
But Dr. Jackson, you know how much of the money from the lottery goes to the schools out of $1? 25 cents. So you said it quite right. Where does that other 75 cents per dollar go? I call that S-T-E-E-L. No, S-T-E-A-L. Yeah, 25 cents out of the dollar. That leaves some under the pocket somewhere, doesn't it? And we heard about the Teach for America. I see a member up there. I'd like to follow up and see how many of your 6 or 7 candidates started out the school year at Normandy. I hope all 6 or 7 of them are still there. I hope so, okay? And then I'm for fixing the schools right where they are, whether it's Riverview Gardens or Normandy. But it's going to take time, and it's going to take a lot of time. Dr. Jackson knows that, and his good state-appointed superintendent, or not Adams, but the president of your board there. A good man. And it's going to take time, so I'm urging you, parents, look into transferring these students. If they're going to be there for another 2, 3, 4 years, get them into a Riverview Gardens, I guess it's Melville, Francis Howell for Normandy. Get them to transfer, because things aren't going to be changed in a year or 2 years or 3 years. And your student, if he's going to be there 2, 3, 4, 5 more years, he's going to probably fall behind 4, 5, or 6 more years. So it's up to you. There's a good website out there called, I think it's CEAM, seamteam.org, and they'll help you. They'll help you do what has to be done to transfer your child. It's gone through the courts, as someone mentioned. It's free transportation. If it's to Francis Howell for Normandy, it's free transportation. If it's for Riverview Gardens to Melville.
Time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. And our last one for this session is Ruth Baker.
Good evening. I came up for a general comment, but to start, since we're talking about education, I didn't know what the topic was, but I think for starters, we ought to stop miseducating our children, because Christopher Columbus did not discover America. So for starters, let's stop miseducating our children in the school system. But I think everybody likes a sale. Everybody likes that half-off sale. Well, I think after the kids get out of school, rather than leaving them out to fend for themselves on the street, people steal because they don't have. We're not born to steal. And I don't like the negative image that only black people steal. I don't like that. That's all not all, but you know what I mean. 10 out of whatever are all, they're black people that steal, and that's what's portrayed in the media. But if we're going to have a sale, I say rather than hire another police officer at $50,000, I'm using even numbers, $50,000 a year, rather than sending them to prison at $50,000 a year, why don't we hire at least 3 people with that $100,000, and we won't need that police officer or that next jail sale. So I say let's do a half-off sale at least, and rather than not have hire, because that's what the chiefs are talking about, hiring more police officers. If we had more jobs, we would not need more police officers. So let's have the half-off sale and hire 3 more people instead of a jail cell and another police officer. Thank you.
Thank you. That ends our public open mic period for this meeting. Before we continue, we're missing 3 of these, any keypads. Did anyone not turn their keypad in? Over here, they heard me say, I'm going to come get you if I find one. But if you have not turned in your keypad, if you don't want to be seen, just leave it up here, please. There's nothing else you can do with it. Thank you. No questions asked. That's right, Patrick. Now we're going to break out into our small groups. The topics tonight, education and child well-being. We are going to move into the gymnasium, which is diagonally across there behind those cameras under the bully-free zone here at Westview Middle School. There are 2 education breakout sessions and 2 child well-being. The 2 education ones are on the right-hand side when you enter the gymnasium. The child well-being are on the far side. The questions we are asking you both are the same. What are your issues with education, child well-being, and what are your suggestions for improvement with education and child well-being? We have 35 minutes in there, and then we'll come back here. Someone from each group will be asked to report out for 2 minutes, so if you'd like to do that, let your facilitator know. We'll come back here and report out, and then we'll move to the framing of this whole issue, and we'll hear from some key leaders in that area. Okay? So we hope you will stay with us. Please move to the gymnasium now as quickly as you can and decide which group you want to participate in. Thank you.